Wonderful Tuesday evening to you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Digital Sim Sport and the Dirt Racing Network live coverage of the Short Track Showdown Series Mid-Season Championship presented by AMP Excavation, Demolition, Iowa Speedway, host for the Mid-Season Championship. Got about 16 cars checked in for tonight's action. Should be a pretty good one. All the usual suspects. All the winners from the previous races this season in here. See if we can keep the win streak alive for everybody. Missed last week's show, and we apologize for that. We had a medical emergency to attend to, and everybody's okay. We're back home, and everything's good, but could not make it in for the show. Tried.
All right, guys.
But I don't know if you've been to the emergency room lately, but if you go in at about 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, sometimes you get out of there by midnight. And I'm just saying sometimes. So, we were there for a very, very long time, and it was frustrating and exhausting. But we did miss the show last week, and we do apologize for those who are faithful watchers of the Short Track Showdown Series. But we'll pick it up right here. Last Tuesday before Christmas, and only 2 Tuesdays left in the year. So only 2 more weeks of racing in 2023 for our Short Track Warriors.
Let's go ahead and shut it down, guys. Shut it down.
Drivers headed to pit road. Going to have a quick drivers meeting, and then they will get out here and get ready for qualifying.
All right, guys. Some of you guys that watch Facebook,
it is hot here today.
Discord know that we did make a couple of changes this week. We borrowed
76 degrees on the thermometer. The track temperature
over at Mars
is a sweltering 113 degrees. That means it should be a little greasy. It should be
to our adjustment for
a move around type of track to find
for
some
the first
grip,
and second incident EOLs. First
we were just here a couple of weeks ago for the Mars
EOL,
race
second
on Sunday night,
and this is more specifically
we did not get to see 2 lines of racing come in. Tonight we
might.
might.
We've been having
there is no
many
guarantee.
drivers.
There's never a guarantee of anything.
20+ incidents per race.
But tonight
and everything. So we're doing this just try to calm everybody down a little bit. Just get everybody to ease up off the throttle a little bit, think about what they're doing.
Qualifying efforts will be there next.
Like I said, after last week's race, I was
guys,
ready
don't be afraid to say
hi
in the chat for sure.
Season.
Let us know where you're watching from. Who you're pulling for out here tonight.
It's so frustrating to have such a talented group of guys, but not be able to get
make sure you drop by the Dirt Racing Network's Facebook page, like, share, and follow. If you're over on YouTube, Trovo, or Twitch, you can hit the subscribe button. We've seen a bunch of
this is an addition to that. So
in the last,
this was
3 weeks.
Added as Rule 2.5. So
probably going to get out here and start whacking on old.
You'll receive a drive-through.
I don't know what that Realtek thing is that's going on Sony BGM, because they are hounding us on our videos, and we have absolutely no copyrighted music of any kind, and have not had in the 6 years that we have been doing this. So we have asked them kindly to cease and desist, and yet they persist. So we'll see what they do. If they take us off the air, fine with me. We'll just put a 15-figure lawsuit on them and see what they say about that. They don't own the world. That's what I'm trying to say. Just waiting about 1:45 seconds. Drivers will head out for their individual qualifying laps, and we'll get ready to line these guys up for our big 60-lap feature. I think the pre-race meeting has a rule change. I am unaware of what the actual rule change is, but I think it is an effort to try to cut down on some of the caution periods that we have seen over the last couple of events. And it's not this series. Don't think that it's this series alone. There are countless series that I have seen discussing this very, very issue right here. It's just kind of rampant. Drivers are not in control of their cars at all times, and the ne'er-do-wells and the ne'er-cares have really started to show up again. We got rid of this for a long time. iRacing did a good job of policing a lot of this, and a lot of those that were just here to cause trouble were put in their places. Some of them left, some of them changed their ways, and it was better for a long time, and now we are back. COVID cleaned a lot of things up because everybody was in and they were doing this a lot, and so they really policed it pretty hard. And a couple of years removed from that now, and we are back to nobody gets punched in the face for the things they say and do online. So either way, we are down to it. Practice session has ended. Drivers meeting coming to a close. Drivers will now be asked to go out, try to turn their fastest lap of the evening. Let's see who is in the redraw. 25:17 was the mark for the practice session. Let's see if anyone can best that as we move to qualifying. Drivers have not been allowed to roll out onto the track just yet. Now we're going to start to see drivers heading out onto the track. Werdeman. Gonna roll his machine out. Is the car sounds coming through, guys? Because I'm not sure. It might be a little loud, actually. I don't know. All right. Werdeman on the clock. Blake Stallings already out on the racing surface. Marvin Turnmeyer. Several drivers out here. John Brunner is going to be coming around here any moment. Austin DeMoore, 25:34 for his first lap. Here comes Werdeman. Werdeman third quick. Dale Garrett second quick. Let's see where Andrew Perry is at. DeMoore only 17/100ths of a second off the quick time in the practice session. There is Blake Stallings, 25:33, so he just nudges DeMoore off the pole. Andrew Perry, just a tick slow on lap number one, right there with DeMoore at 25:34. There we go. Pete Dillon quickest, 25:32. So just slight improves. We are still waiting for the 34 Reed or the 43 of Reed Rundle to roll out. Adam Vinny, 25:26, and now Marvin Turnmeyer, 25.25 seconds on his second lap. That is the time to be. Here comes Adam Vinny out of 4, lap number 2. Oh, he got a little feisty with his right foot right there. That'll slow him down a good bit. Yeah, 25:60 that time. Here's your defending series champion, putting himself on the clock for lap number 1. Still Turnmeyer, Vinny, and Dillon, 1, 2, 3. This was your quickest driver in the pre-race practice session. And we'll see what driver 43 has in that machine for qualifying lap 1. About to be put in the books. And Reed Rundle will jump to third quickest, 25:31. There is Jay Powell at 25:20. That was lap number 2 for him. Brad Lawson on track, 25:59. Now let's see if Mr. Rundle, last driver, take time. Yeah, 25-30, a little improvement, but it doesn't move him. Jay Powell will be your quick qualifier this evening. Brad Lawson has finished up 25-32 for Lawson. Lawson's 7th on the speed chart. Brandon Yates, 28 car, does not take time in the qualifying session. So of 17 drivers, 16 Westendorf, the slowest of those at 25.91, 7/10 of a second off of your pole. So Jay Powell, bonus points for quickest in qualifying for the 18 machine. Oh. Hello, Bill. I saw you in the chat a little bit ago. Sorry I didn't shout out to you sooner. A lot going on. All right. Just waiting for the session to come to a close, and we will get ready to move on. Look at our inverted cars. So top three, just over 5/100ths of a second. And then a full 10th back to 4th, 5th, and about 7th. All right. Everybody locked in except for these 5 drivers. And these 5 drivers. Going to LCQ us a little right here. 10 lapper. Final starting positions for these guys. You can see it'll be Dale Garrett, John Brunner, then Nathan Hurlburt, Josh Westendorf, and Brandon Yates in that order out there. Everybody's going to transfer through. Maybe not. Top 16. No, everybody's transferring. We only had 17 cars. Had we had 21, I might have said it was the top 16 plus the top 4 from here, but we only had 17. So the top 12 were locked in. There'll be a redraw in that top 12. And then these guys will race for the last 3 rows. So Mr. Yates could improve his starting position and not be tail end Charlie. But Dale Garrett, the season opener was his win. And he is in this LCQ. Then John Brunner, Nathan Hurlburt, and Josh Westendorf. We're just waiting for John Brunner, 46 car, to hit the grid. Does not look like Mr. Brunner is going to make the call, so we'll have 4 drivers. Brunner will still be able to start the feature, but he will start tail end Charlie. He'll have the 9th row all to himself when we get that rolled off. And Westendorf finally rolling it off pit road. Few extra laps for these guys. They'll be starting at the back, so any laps you can get when you're starting this deep in a field like this, you got to have. So they get the green the next time we come out of turn 4. 10 laps. Easy Easy 10 laps. This is a big, wide racetrack for these cars. A little bumpy right over that tunnel right there in turns 1 and 2. If you're on the wrong line, the car can get a little free with you. If you're getting the throttle too early down here in turns 3 and 4, even though it is a widening apex exit, this track very tricky. Typically, more horsepower car, you're going to run middle to the top, but in these cars, you're going to run bottom to the middle. And I'm interested to see if, with the track temperatures, if we're going to see a little more middle and maybe the very bottom of that top groove up there kind of be where guys want to run because it's a little safer. But we won't know until we get into the action. And we're doing that right now with the green flag out over our LCQ, which really is just a race for the final 5 spots. They're all in. They're just figuring out where they're going to line up. And you can see side by side with Garrett and Hurlburt coming out of turn number 2, and Hurlburt off the top side has the advantage, and he is going to go wide. That is a very good lineup there to keep your momentum. It's a long way around the Speedway, but I think on a very hot, very slick day like today, it may be one of the safer lines to run for these guys. Hurlburt grabs the lead, Garrett second. These two have already driven out to over a second over Westendorf and Yates. And since they're going to go side by side again out of 4, we're not going to take the camera off of them. Almost contact right there. This time, Garrett has the advantage. Third lane up the track for Hurlburt, and I think he's going to lose some momentum there. Car was wiggling and dancing around. He got a run down the backstretch. He'll pull alongside. Now, he may have the advantage out of turn number 4 coming off the bottom right here. Man, that car is just darting around. He leads a lap number 3. Little wiggle out of Garrett's car. The 72 on the top side. A lot of momentum, keeping the speed up. That gives you a longer straightaway. And I think the longer straightaway here is going to keep Hurlburt by just a nose. Excuse me. By just a nose. I thought Garrett might have a run there. Now we'll see the crossover. Garrett will come off the bottom, go right to the middle. Both cars wiggling and dancing around. This car very free on this very hot racetrack right now. Run along the outside, going to cut it across the tail end. Go right down to the bottom. Garrett led that one, but just, again, a smidge. Fantastic racing. We're just seeing crossover after crossover right now. Oh, big wiggle out of the 72 car. But, man, he had some speed coming up off the bottom right there, and he's able to stay alongside. That time, I think Hurlburt got a little too far up the hill. But Garrett wasn't sure where he was and kept the car pinched to the bottom and got free himself. Quickly a look back. Westendorf by himself. Yates a good deal back. He has a full set of straightaways behind this battle for the lead. 3 to go. Big wiggle. That time it was almost sideways for Hurlburt. He really had to do some driving to grab it back. That is going to open up about 8 car lengths between he and Garrett. And now Dale Garrett in firm control. He'll have 2 to go this time. Yeah, that'd be good, Mr. Vinny. You're going to be up next. 2 to go for your leaders, and Hurlburt creeping back in here. He's got it down to a couple of car lengths. Gets him on the entries, but loses some when he goes up the track on the exits. Now got a good run out of 4. White flag in the air. One more time around. Didn't get there in time to get his nose in and keep Garrett off that bottom line on that sweeping entry. And I think Dale Garrett just needs to keep it facing forward, and he's going to pick the win up here. We'll have the 7th row to the inside. He'll have Hurlburt right there. Hurlburt was second, and then Westendorf in third. Yates is going to come home in the 4th spot here. Quite a ways back, about 8.5 seconds, and then John Brunner out and made a few laps. He's going to get some practice in the car, but he was multiple laps down for missing that start. This did not take long. They are ready to get gritting and ready to get going. I was not prepared for that, I have to say. So we'll look at it. Pete Dillon, will be on your pole in the 007. For those of you old enough to get that reference, please ha-ha me. Reed Rundle in the 43 was going to start on the outside of the front row next to him. And then the 11 of Adam Vinny. Look at that. Mr. Vinny had to rush and go get in the car. He's starting inside row number 2 with Marvin Turnmeyer in the 16 on his outside. You'll have Jay Powell, 118 car, row 3 on the left. And then on the right in the 77 is going to be Blake Stallings. Brad Lawson, 63 car, been fast all season long in that 63. He starts row 7 or row 4 in the 7th position. Excuse me. Whew, I was trying to put him way at the back. Sorry, Brad. And Andrew Perry in the 33 will start next to him. You'll have Austin DeMore in the 5th row in the 7 car with Caleb Sanford in the 31. Your 6th row. These are the automatic qualifiers. The last of them. That'll be the 81 of Jeff Werdeman inside and Trevor Harmon in the 29 on the outside. And we watched all these guys come in from that LCQ, the 72 of Dale Garrett. Row number 7 inside with Hurlburt in the 128 on the outside. And then Westendorf in the 92. Row 8 to the inside. And your outside starter in position number 16, Brandon Yates at 28. And way at the back in the 46 is going to be John Brunner. So there is a 7 car, Pete Dillon. Well, if he would have missed the start, that would have been more than disappointing, Ivan. I'm just going to call him like I see him. Right down turn number 3. All right, just about that time. Lights off on the pace vehicle. Rundle and Dillon on the front row. Vinny and Turnmeyer, row 2. Stallings and Powell, row 3. 60 laps tonight. Row 3, there we go. Row 3, a little staggered off there. Getting closed up now. Pace vehicle headed to the infield. We're in the start zone. And a green flag. You're going to have to be careful with your tires. That's one thing I can promise you right here. It is hot already. It's greasy already. And if you heat your tires up too quick, well, you are going to have a really long night out here. But we're side by side. The front 2 rows look like they're still in pace formation. They are out here at about 130 miles an hour. They'll cross the line with Rundle by a nose leading lap number 1. Can the outside prevail? Ooh, he tried to dive down, and Dillon had slid up in that middle lane. I thought we were having a meeting of the minds right there. Marvin Turnmeyer trying to slide right in behind Rundle, see if he can give him a little push, maybe a little draft. Rundle again, they spanned out 3 wide, but nobody's going to duck to the inside getting into turn number 1. As Adam Vinny tucks that 11 car right back into 4th spot inside in the 2nd row. Big wiggle out of Perry. Andrew Perry was sideways back there, gathered it up, only lost 2 spots. Now he gets one of those back. We're staying up front. Marvin Turnmeyer with a moment. He's going to get it back under control. That's going to open it up for Dillon to move up to the high line. So, front 2. Single file, we're side by side for 3rd. Vinny and Turnmeyer now down the back stretch. We'll see who prevails. So far, the top line has been very good until Turnmeyer got loose right about here last lap. He wiggles just a tiny bit again. Whoa, down on the bottom, the 18 car of Powell. He had himself a ride. Moved about a lane and a half up. But he's able to keep it in fifth. Adam Vinny just can't shake Marvin Turnmeyer right now. Lawson sixth. Blake Stallings has got the 77 car clear for now into seventh. But here comes DeMoore. And Andrew Perry is still fighting that 33 car. It was wiggling going down a backstretch. Here comes Dale Garrett. Garrett started in row number 7, and he's already battling for a top 10 position right here. So just about 6 laps into this thing. And the 72 car making his presence known. He's starting to come forward. Now Turnmeyer going to clear Vinny on the outside. That'll move Adam Vinny back to fourth. And there's Jay Powell trying to get up there alongside while the door's open. And I thought we might see a higher line come in quicker in this particular instance than we did a couple of weeks ago with the Mars guys. That was at night. Track was a lot cooler, a lot more grip. You really wanted to fight to get to the bottom. When the track gets slick and greasy, you want to get in the middle and or the top, especially down in turns 3 and 4. Marvin Turnmeyer off the top of turn 2, and that car had a long dance down the backstretch. Battle for the lead. Pete Dillon worked his way to the inside of Reed Rundle out of turn number 4. Rundle going to yield the spot to him. And the savvy veteran in the 43, he knows he needs to save some tire. He's probably going to drop back just a little. He's running as hard as he needed to find out where it was going to be. And then Turnmeyer used that open door policy. Drove alongside. Now Vinny back alongside Powell. There's 3 deep, 2 wide right there behind your leader all the way back to Lawson, who's on the outside of Powell for just a moment. He'll get there again out of turn number 2. Guys, I think the top side's going to be the side. You watch that second and third lane. Going to be where you really want to be. You can drive a little deeper in. You can let the car roll a little bit more. And it'll settle a little bit quicker if you're patient with the throttle. You can see Rundle now starting to work the high line. He's going to clear Adam Vinny. Vinny needs to get in line there. Behind him, 2 wide. Lawson and Powell still working things out. Stallings in behind that. They're 2 wide with Sanford and DeMoore in behind that. Andrew Perry seems to have things worked out. With the 33 car, he got back around Dale Garrett, and now he's starting to slowly make a march. She comes up to the back of the 7 of DeMoore. That's a battle for 9th and 10th. Get back up here to the front because we have not settled 4th place yet. Brad Lawson now working to the inside on Adam Vinny, and Vinny is getting in line behind the guys in front of him. Wide entry to 1, drop to the bottom, wide exit of 2. They'll stay in the middle down here in 3 and 4. Not go to the bottom. We'll stay a car width, maybe 2 up. Car settled well. Oh, Andrew Perry, right after I gave him all the props in the world, he goes around, and we have caution for the first time tonight. We'll go down here, get close to the 33 car. I think he just loops it. Maybe got in the throttle a little early. Oh, he got up behind the 7 and checked up, shifted lines, and he got a tiny little bump from the back from the 72. So that'll slow things down. We're almost 25% of the way in here. We're a couple laps shy of that. I think we're waiting for the pace truck to catch up because the leaders were way down there in turns 1 and 2 when all this happened. Dillon, Turnmeyer, Rundle, Vinny, Lawson, Powell, Stallings, Sanford, DeMoore, Garrett, Werdeman, Harmon, Halliburtt, Herbert, excuse me, I'm just failing with that name tonight. Brunner, Westendorf, and Yates, and then Perry is gathering things up, and he'll get to the back. He may go in and get new tires. I don't know. Being all the way at the back, it couldn't have hurt. Still 47 laps to go. And that was just racing deal there. He had a driver kind of run up on the back of the car in front of him a little. He checked up, and when he did, he kind of shifted lanes just a tiny bit. And the guy behind him didn't have a whole lot of time to react, and it was the slightest of touches. 33 car got weightless on the back end. Around he goes, so... Light's going to go, oh, they're going to stay on. We're going to go around again. Must still have debris because we got the field in order. And oh, I don't know what that's about. And we're staying under caution, so we must not have everything picked up and cleaned up yet. Think you'll see that we're going to get that pace truck to turn the lights off this time around. Where it is, we're going to go 1 to go here. Get ready for a restart. Driver should start to double up for us. Everybody trying to get ready. Go on the restart. Tires are 13 laps old. They may be just a little worn down. It may be interesting on the start. You might see some cars dipping, diving, dodging, and ducking here on this restart. Depends on how hard these guys get into the throttles and if they miss a shift or not. And we have seen that in the past. All right, pace vehicle out of the way, getting into the restart zone. Mr. Dillon with another good start. Turnmeyer grabs second. It's going to be side by side again for the third spot. And I think Rundle's going to quickly prevail there. We'll see if Lawson pulls alongside Vinny and tries to take fourth away, and he's going to do exactly that. Deal with that. Getting the single file pretty quickly, most of the way back through the field. Caleb Sanford there in 7th, the 31 car. Going to have a side-by-side with Stallings and Werdeman. That is back here for 8th and 9th right now. And they're 11th and 12th. Also side-by-side. We're getting side-by-side 2 wide up here with Lawson, Vinny, Powell, and Sanford. Side by side for the lead. Marvin Turnmeyer trying to take the 16 car to the front. I don't think Mr. Dillon quite ready to give that up. He is going to stay in that third lane right at the bottom of it right there. If that car can stay straight underneath him, he's going to have a big run down the front stretch. Dillon retaking the lead on the top side of 2, and Turnmeyer lost some momentum, and Rundle give it a good thought about running in underneath him there in 3 and 4. Reed Rundle now trying to put the pressure on Marvin Turnmeyer. Rundle holding station. Still alongside, almost clear. Can he come completely clear? Oh, big move from Sanford behind. I think that car got free, and he chased it all the way up the hill. Luckily, no one was on the outside. Because had there been a car there, he would have pancaked them into the fence. This battle for second and third still not over. Now the leader went way wide and allowed those two to catch up. We're going to have a 3-wide battle maybe for the lead here in just a second. Blake Stallings trying to make a move. Going to take 8th away or 7th away from Vinny for the moment. Those two working side by side. Good 2-wide action here. Second and third been side by side since we dropped the green on the restart 6-7 laps ago. And now Rundle looks to clear Turnmeyer down the backstretch. Just could not do it. I thought he was going to get a run up there and get to Dillon. Pete Dillon out front, stand up in that third line. I like where that car is at. Now we're going to have a battle. Turnmeyer tucked in behind. Couldn't make the crossover. And they go side by side for 4th and 5th. Lawson and Powell now going to lock into the battle. Dillon, Rundle, Turnmeyer, 1, 2, 3, and they're pretty much nose to tail right now. Lawson way wide on the exit of 4, and it keeps Powell right beside. Sanford had a moment a few laps ago. He got the car back under him. He's got his rhythm back. Got a good run down the backstretch. Is he going to force 3 wide? No. Thought he was going to either force a 3 wide or give a push on that left rear corner of the 18, and that was just going to be a recipe for disaster. He doesn't do either one. Falls back in line. Creeping in on halfway. 6 laps short of that. Top 3 trying to make a breakaway now. 4th and 5th have settled it out. 6, 7, 8, 9. All the way back to Demore in 10th. Harmon in 11th. And then the first side-by-side was Perry and Hurlburt. That's 12th and 13th, and they're not done with each other. Andrew Perry was just 17th a few laps ago when we went to restart on lap number 14. Oh, big moment! That's Adam Vinny. And Adam Vinny having a big problem there. Caution. It's Caleb Sanford who wrecked, and Vinny, I think, might have to have a clean driver's suit. Oh, yeah, he got turned pretty good, but he was able to hang on. There is what's going to bring out our caution. Sanford got the run, got to the left rear corner. That'll put, was that Brad Lawson? It was not that guy. That's for sure. It was that guy. Right there, Brad Lawson. Hard hit on the left side of the car. A lot of sheet metal damage. So we'll go see if we can find Mr. Lawson. What is Andrew Perry backwards again? What happened to Andrew here? Big checkups. Oh, big checkups, and the guy behind him didn't check up. That's what happened to him. That's why he was backwards sitting there. So Brad Lawson, Westendorf, Yates, Sanford, Perry, all headed down pit road to the attention of their crews. You can see that right rear corner on Andrew Perry's car caved in pretty good. Brad Lawson's car, heavy left side damage. We're not going to get a chance to see that from there. They'll have a look around underneath that suspension. They'll lift the left side up. They may be able to pull some of this out. Let's see if we can get the drone to hover around. It looks a little better than it did. Andrew Perry has rolled out. Brad Lawson's going all the way to the back. I think maybe he might have got a pit road penalty. Very easy to do here. Long pit road. It's hard to go that slow for that long. Marvin Turnmeyer now on pit road, and so is Jeff Werdeman. We're creeping in on halfway, so new tires. You only get the one tire change. This may work out for them. Rundle, Dillon, Powell, Vinny, Stallings, DeMoore, Harmon, Hurlburt, Garrett, and Brunner are right now the top 10. Then all the cars that crashed and all the cars that pitted behind that. Perry, Yates, Westendorf, Lawson, Sanford, Turnmeyer, and Werdeman. We'll go lights out on the pace truck. You can see the leader going to pick the outside line. So Rundle will start high side. Hello, Randy. I don't think your little emoji thing worked, but I get it. All right, pace truck going to duck out of the way right here. In turn number 4, we'll hit the start zone. And Rundle should be the first to fire. And he is. Oh, he's going to get a good start. Dillon may have to stay in the bottom lane because Adam Vinny got a pretty good start too. That fades away as both Dillon and Powell race by him going into turn number 1. So drop Vinny back to 4th. DeMoore grabs 5th. Stallings is up to 6th. Those top 6 on the screen right now. Going to battle, maybe starting to shape up here for 7th and 8th. I thought Dale Garrett was Dale Jarrett. Yeah, that'd be great. Dale Garrett was going to make a run there on Harmon, and he elected to stay in line. Content to just ride there for now, creeping up on halfway. 3 laps to go this time till we make the halfway point. The battle is behind your leader as Powell now starting to try to run the 18 car closer to the front. We're going to see if the new tires for all the guys that made it to pit roads pay off, because they were 12th on back. Now, if this goes green, that's a lot of track to make up, but you're going to be supremely quicker than the rest of the field those last 15 laps, that's for sure. Right now, Pete Dillon under fire. Adam Vinny has the inside. That is a battle for the 3rd spot right there. DeMoore still holding station in 5th, hanging back, trying to figure out which line is going to move. That's the line he wants to be in as soon as that does move. I'll tell you what, Pete Dillon has put up a fight whether he's been up the inside or out on the outside, and he is not letting anyone take anything from him without some effort, and Vinny is going to settle back into the 4th spot, single file through about the top 8. Let's check. Andrew Perry up to 10th. He's picked off a couple of drivers. Brunner's behind that. And then here's the first of your new tire cars that only went in for tires. Marvin Turnmeyer 12th. Caleb Sanford 13th. Westendorf. Werdeman, that's your 2nd car. They pitted on the 2nd lap of the caution. Lawson. Yates. That's the field. We'll go back to the front now because Rundle and Powell have started to inch away from the battle that is shaped up again as Vinny worked his way to the inside of Pete Dillon one more time. Here comes Stallings. He's looking to the inside of DeMoore. That'll be too wide, too deep. 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Front 2. about 0.8 of a second out in front, and it is very tight now. For the lead is Powell, Jay Powell. Brings the 18 car alongside momentarily. For the lead, and then falls back in line. But when they are racing each other just a little, and they're driving away from the guys behind them still. As that 4-car battle for the final podium spot has not been settled, and doesn't look like it's going to be settled anytime soon, unless somebody has a slip. Dale Garrett now has brought himself to the 7th spot, got around Harmon. Perry is up to 9th. He's right there in that group. 25 laps remaining, make it 26. Here's a 3 wide. Stallings on the bottom. Vinny's the meat in the sandwich. DeMoore up on the outside. They stay 3 wide down the front stretch and into 1 and 2. Boy, there's not a lot of real estate down there, and everybody wants that lower 2 lines. And Stallings going to have to roll out just a little bit to keep the car down low, and that's going to let DeMoore and Vinny sneak right on by. Battle for the lead. Jay Powell got the nose there. But Reed Rundle powers it into 1 and 2, and he is going to keep it up front. We're inside 25 laps to go. Now Harmon and Perry are starting to go at it back here for 8th and 9th. Perry, fresher tires. He's going to clear Harmon that time. Move him up to the 8th spot. So, new tires working on the 33 car. 2 leaders, 1 second in front of 3rd place. Pete Dillon now has Austin DeMoore in tow behind. And the battle side by side behind that between Adam Vinny and Blake Stallings as DeMoore forces the issue just a little bit, moves the car to the inside, battle up front again for the lead. Just not enough momentum on that exit. You can't keep your speed and keep your foot in it. The car will really break loose coming up out of the corner off the very bottom back there. Reed Rundle knows that. So he's going to give you that line. He's going to let you get there. And he's going to take it back. Pete Dillon and DeMoore side by side again. DeMoore had the advantage, comes up the hill just a little. A lot of racing room here. All the way through the corners, there's just certain lines where you just cannot do the things you need to be fast. The risk reward is too great. Dale Garrett and Andrew Perry now is just about into this battle. Oh, contact! Stallings and Dillon. And Dillon, he's going to be the one that pays. Get down here and see if we get just a little closer look at this. Vinny's on the inside right there, and I think Dillon was just using the line he'd been using to get in, and Stallings was just a lane lower. And the gap closed pretty quickly. And that nose got there, got into left rear corner. There's a lot of right front damage on the 7 car. Car is liable to be down a little bit on horsepower as well. So we'll slow things down. This is where it's going to get tricky now, because now the guys up front, they got older tires. They got to make a decision with 20 laps remaining. Do I go in and do I get tires? Or do I stay out and I hope that that guy back there in 6th runs out of laps before you get up here and get to me, because Andrew Perry cracking the top 5 here momentarily. He's the first car on fresh tires. But you look 2 spots behind that, there's the next one. That's the 16 car, Marvin Turnmeyer. And then it's 3 cars back to Jeff Werdeman. So 3 cars on fresh tires in the top 11. Make it 4, because I think Sanford has new tires as well. Lawson has tires. He went in, got some damage fixed. And apparently that car not down on horsepower at all. I thought it might be hurt just a little bit with that left side impact to the wall. But he appears to be okay. So Rundle, going to keep it out there. Going to keep the 43 car on the track, on the old tires. Going to see if he can hold these guys off for 20 laps. He hopes they get to racing each other. He can get clear and clean of Powell, excuse me. And that everybody behind all that will start to race each other. He doesn't have to race Powell very much. Very calculated risk right here, in my opinion. But the defending champ, just trying to get back to his winning ways, has struggled this year. Or this season, excuse me. So we should get the 1-to-go signal. That will put everybody 2 by 2. I'm sure Rundle is going to kick the outside again like he did the last time. Inform everybody, all 17 drivers still in the race, all 17 drivers still on the lead lap. We had about a 13 green flag lap run to start things, and then we went about another 26 to get to where we are right now. We're coming down. It'll be 20 laps to go on this restart. Front 5 still on old tires. 6th on back. A lot of those guys have new tires. And Rundle trying to get another good start. He did not get as good a start, I think, as he wanted to. He may clear Powell getting into one, but Powell will pull alongside as he's going to go right to the bottom. He's got a tippy toe a little coming off. That opens the door for Rundle. Not quite clear getting into 3 and 4, but he's got the high side. That's the momentum line. That's the line you really want when the track is hot and greasy, and now Rundle clears. Powell settles in. DeMoore settles single file. Vinny single file. Garrett single file. Perry single file. Top 8 single file. All the way back to Lawson. Brunner in 9th. 10th. He's single file. Dipping, dodging. There goes Andrew Perry. Woo! He really had to get on the binders. That car really got sideways. So we're going to go back to the front because Jay Powell is not relented. He is right back to the attack on the 43 car. And I'm not going to be much surprised if Rundle has been trying to save a little tire and stay out in front. And he is letting Powell kind of hang around those last 10. He may finally cut the 43 car all the way loose, but they're still getting away from everybody behind them. They're half a second out in front of DeMoore, Vinny, Garrett, Sanford. Yeah, Sanford is in 6th. I thought Turnmeyer was in 6th, but I had those two numbers mixed up. 2 leaders, fastest cars on the track, 25.28 seconds, everybody, 35 and slower. Behind, here comes Dale Garrett to the outside of Adam Vinny. 4th and 5th. That time Powell got really wide. Woo, I think maybe the 18 car might be starting to give up a little bit of traction. He got really wide on the exit. We're watching side by side between Dale Garrett and Adam Vinny. 4th and 5th being contested right here. And Dale Garrett, winner already this season in the series, won the season opener, and he's trying to get back to victory lane. He's been on the podium again. Late in the going here, and he's trying to make a run for it. He's just got to get around DeMore. DeMore's going to leave the door open on the high side and then closes it up on the exit. That's going to check things up. There's going to be a push down the backstretch. That's going to get the 7 car a little out of shape. 3 wide through 3 and 4. DeMore had to go to the top to gather the car. Vinny got a run on the bottom. That put Garrett in the middle. What a battle these guys are having right here. Bring Sanford into it as well, because Sanford trying to push Vinny through on the bottom. Turnmeyer's trying to push Garrett through in the middle. Now it's all going to sort out. They'll go back 2 wide, and that time DeMore really got wide, and 3 and 4 got in the marbles. Rundle and Powell, 1.5 seconds out in front of the battle you're watching right here. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. 2 and 3 wide racing just at the cusp of the podium. Turnmeyer with a big drive down to the bottom, kind of muscled Sanford out of the way. Sanford tried to shut the door, and the 16 was already completely alongside. DeMore's car starting to fade. He has fallen back to the 8th spot, and he is losing touch with this battle here. We're not going to see much at the front as Rundle's opened up about 6/10, making almost 7/10 now. 10 laps remaining. Still side by side for the 3rd and final podium spot, and they're 2 deep, 2 wide, trying to get into 3rd right here. Everybody wants to be on the podium. Turnmeyer, fresher tires than anybody in that group, just can't find a clean line. Laps clicking off. That time I saw Brad Lawson look at 3 different lanes from the time he left to turn 4 to the time they got to turn 1, trying to figure out if he was going to try to make a move right there. Garrett and Vinny have been side by side since we restarted, neither relenting to the other at all. And I know all the victory Vinnies in the big sideways from both the 16 and the 31 right behind this. They get them squared up. They just lose a handful of car lengths to this battle. And now Sanford is going to pull that 31 down on the low line. Does he have exit speed? Is he going to make it a 3 wide? He certainly is. Put Vinny in the middle of this. Garrett way up top. Sanford down on the bottom, and Sanford's got fresher tires. He had to go in to get a little damage fixed. They went in. Oh, there's your problem. That's a wreck. Caution. Oh, and then another. Oh, my. We're going to watch 2 of these. Wow. We're going to get to see 2 of these. They come out, and Sanford kind of up the hill a little, and Vinny is there, and I don't know. Oh, and drivers were slowing up, and I don't know what happened in that second one. Oh, I know what happened there. 45 seconds later. Eek. But the first one, Sanford, I think he just forgot the 11 car was on the outside. So that got exciting real quick, and I can tell you right now that that was something that driver 43 did not want to see. 1, he didn't want to see a caution. 2, he doesn't want to see that 72 car come up here. He had a pretty good lead over the 18 of Jay Powell. He was trying to just cruise to the end. And now he's going to have to deal with Garrett. He may not have to deal with Vinny, as Adam Vinny's got a lot of right front damage. A lot of total front end damage. He is mushed in on both sides considerably. So he got hit on the left side and pushed into the fence on the right. Garrett's got left front damage. He's pushed in right there. Your leader, not a scratch. Let's go back and look at Lawson's car. That car, yeah, that car's just been in it all day long. Pete Dillon back up here. It's Dillon. Nice recovery. He's in the top 5 again. Werdeman. Pretty good looking, clean number 81 machine. Adam Vinny on to pit road. Going to try to get the damage fixed, salvage what he can in a 5 or 6 lap shootout here. Missed his pit. He's going to have to back into it. They'll get to work. So 6 laps to settle this thing tonight. Rundle has not pitted. I'm going to tell you, hard charger. Well, the hard charger sitting there in second place right now. He was in the LCQ. Wins that. Starts in the 7th row on the inside. There's 13th and 14th in row number 7. He started 13th. He is now second. Has not pitted. One of only 3 cars that have not pitted. Reed Rundle, Dale Garrett, and John Brunner have not pitted. Every other driver out here has pitted a minimum of 1 time. Marvin Turnmeyer's got his car fixed, and he is back. Well, rollover didn't affect that 16 car much. We are doubled up. We're getting ready to go back to the green flag. 6 laps remaining. Can Rundle hold off the hard charging Garrett? Can Dillon mount an offensive? Can Jeff Werdeman, on a few laps fresher tires, get up here and do something with these leaders? And no, we are not going green. Lights back on the safety vehicle. Not ready to cut it loose yet. His driver's still trying to sort things out towards the back. Here comes Caleb Sanford. Maybe not. Maybe Caleb Sanford is not coming back. Brad Lawson is going to be the last driver. Sanford officially now scored out of the event. And that's unfortunate. He was having a pretty good drive up there in that battle. Just made a mistake. Well, well, shoot, Randy. I don't know what to say to that. I mean, he's your brother. All right. Rundle and Garrett, Werdeman and Dillon, Stallings and Harmon. That's the front 3 in rows. 6 laps to go. Pace truck about to get out of the way. We're going to settle this thing in just the next couple of minutes. And Reed Rundle, fantastic start. He's going to grab the lead. Look at that, Jeff Werdeman on the fresh tires. And they're fresher than, they're 13 laps fresher than anybody else in front of him. The guy behind him, Pete Dillon's got tires that are about 15 or 20 laps fresher than that. As he got spun out up there, working around the top 3 or 4. Wave lap coming around this time. 5 to go. Reed Rundle in front. Now your battle side by side, 2 deep. 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, 7th, and 8th are going to get side by side as here comes the 33 of Perry again. Oh, Lawson trying to get out of the way of everybody. Caution, 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 caution. Jay Powell in the 18 car? No, that is not. That was not what we were looking for. Yeah, we're not sure what we're looking at here, guys. It picked it up pretty late. That's Yates in the 28. And Westendorf in the 92, and they were just way out at the top of the track right there. And Powell had a problem as well. I don't know what happened to Jay Powell. That happens behind Powell. See if Powell has a problem coming out of the corner. Oh, he got the left sides down. Oh, he was checking up, and Brunner. Yeah, Brunner didn't see that he was checking up. So, yeah, you check up. You're probably going to need to stay in one lane. Not change lanes in front of other drivers. That would be my suggestion. So, once again, old one-arm Jack's going to have to dig into his bag of tricks. Try to get another good restart here. Only have about 4 to go when we get it. Told him on the radio. Well, you know, he may have had some Mariah Carey going on in there, some Christmas music, and he couldn't really hear you, man. I don't really know. I think it would have served him to get tires 3 cautions ago. That one that was there at about lap 40. That would have been the one that Ooh, that thing's hot. Holy crap, that thing's hot. Yeah, that definitely would have been the one that I wanted to get tires on. They're probably paying some dividends right about now. So we're still cleaning things up. It looks like Brunner. He's got the 46 down there on pit road. A lot of damage on the left front especially. Sanford out. Powell back in it. Westendorf's coming around with that car heavily damaged. He's already been on pit road earlier, so. Yeah, that would have been a good call. That would have been a really nice call. He may not have been in the place where he was right there when the 18 car came across his nose. But it looks like the drivers are trying to get it doubled up. Lights go off on the pace truck. We're going to try to settle this thing right here. Going to have 4 laps. When they take the green, Ken Arundel. Hold off Garrett. And the drivers behind, because all the drivers behind now have considerably fresher tires than that 43 car. And I know that guy's really good at saving tires. But 56 laps, that's a lot to ask. And Werdeman got a good start on the last restart, so we'll see. He's got Pete Dillon right beside him. Dillon's been tough all night long. Pace car going to get out of the way. Rundle's giving him plenty of room. He wants to get to the start zone and have some momentum. And it looked like Garrett tried to time it up, and he might have missed it a little. Rundle is going to clear Garrett, getting into 1 and 2. Werdeman clears Dillon. Top 4 single file, top 5 single file. 3 to go this time. Dillon's going to try to fight back on the top side of Werdeman. Now he's going to cut to the inside. That's the battle for 3rd. Stallings is back there in 5th. Newer tires on the 7 than there are on the 81. We'll see if fresher tires can prevail in at least a podium run here. As that time, Rundle takes it right down to the bottom. Oh, Stallings got into Werdeman. Caution. Oh, and Werdeman's going to get the 16 of Turnmeyer involved. So Werdeman up the hill. Oh, yeah, 77 got down, hit the flat, drifted up, and he just got right into left rear corner of that 81 car. Turned him around in front of company. So Stallings got into the corner kind of hot, got the left sides down on the flat and unwedged the car a little bit, and up the hill he came. Innocent driver in the 81, Jeff Werdeman, didn't know he was coming, had absolutely no warning. I think Andrew Perry got in that deal too. So all the drivers from 137 may be involved in that one wreck. I imagine driver in the 43 car is going, what do we got to do to finish this? I'm running out of tricks. I'm running out of things that I can do to keep the lead because Garrett almost had him timed up. You got to let the leader get back to the line first. That's just the way it is. That's the rules. And when he backed up just that little bit because he got on it a little early, that was when Rundle decided he was going to do it, and it was working out for him. So it'll be a two-lap shootout. Green, the white, the checkers, and Rundle is going to have to try to do it one more time. So another lap of pace. Rundle, Garrett, Dillon, Harmon up to the 4th spot. Hurlburt in 5th. And Hurlburt was in a battle with Dale Garrett in that LCQ earlier. And Garrett is up in 2nd. He's in 5th. So the guys that started deep in this thing are at the front. Here's Adam Vinny making a nice recovery after his incident a few laps ago. He is up to the 6th spot again, and he's got pretty fresh skins on that thing. Lawson, DeMore in behind of that. Jay Powell, 10th right now. I'm sorry, Jay Powell's 9th and Brandon Yates is 10th. So it looks like we still have lights on our pace vehicle. Left side damage on that 72 car. I don't know if it's affecting the performance much. I know there's only 2 cars that haven't pitted in this entire event, and they are right there on your front row. Everyone else has been to the pits at least one time in this. When you go to the pits, you're going to get fresh tires. Now the light's off on the safety vehicle, and there we go. Now Rundle gets a good start. He didn't hardly wait. Harmon's going to get a good run on the outside. He's going to try to take 2nd away from Garrett. Good run on the outside. Here comes Pete Dillon. Dillon thinking about making it 3 wide. Doesn't quite have enough momentum to get there before corner entry, and that probably would have just spelled some disaster had he gone ahead and attempted that. White flag of this time. We might finish this one. Rundle out in front, 3 wide, 2nd and 3rd. Garrett had to jump on the binders as Harmon came from the top and cut right across the nose of the 72. That opens the door for Pete Dillon to grab 3rd. It is all Rundle out in front. He's going to pick up your win this evening. Harmon trying to hang on for a 2nd, and he's going to do so by 1 car length over Pete Dillon. Dale Garrett, valiant effort. He's going to come up short in 4th. And Adam Vinny with a nice recovery will come home in 5th. Trevor Harmon is your hard charger for this evening. Picked up 10 spots. Going to come home 2nd. We're going to get a chance to talk to him, hopefully, down here on the podium, but we're definitely going to try to talk to Mr. Dillon. Yeah, Pete Dillon is there. We'll get him in our waiting room. I am sure that Mr. Rundle will join us, and we will wait and see if driver 29, Mr. Harmon, comes in and chats with us. Okay. We're just waiting for all of our drivers to make their way to there's Pete Dillon. There's Trevor Harmon. All right, let's get Pete Dillon here. Pete Dillon, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Heck of a battle tonight, man. You were up, down, sideways at one point, and then worked your way back through the field. You're coming home on the podium this evening. How was the feature?
It was a pretty fun race. I would have went to the back regardless because I was going to get tires as close to the end as possible. But yeah, it was a lot of fun trying to get back up through the field. I think I had the fastest.
Right at the end there, it did look like you were able to make a lot of moves, coming up on some of the guys that had tires that maybe 5-10 laps older than yours, but just not enough laps, not enough restarts to get you up there. Track was pretty greasy tonight.
Yeah, the leader lane choice, when the leader takes the outside, it really screws me up. I was supposed to be restarting third, but I actually restarted fourth every time because of the leader's lane decision. So I had to work back by third, and yeah, it was tough, but it was fun, clean racing.
Yeah, it looked like track was pretty greasy, guys. Maybe having some trouble finding some grip, and early, a couple of lines were pretty hefty out there. You guys were able to run side by side for a lot of laps. How much fun is that?
Yeah, I made the outside work pretty well kind of early, but as the race went on, the outside didn't work as well.
Well, an awesome run, man. Give us some shout outs, some thank yous. We'll let you get out of here and celebrate a fantastic night of racing.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
I said give us some shout outs and some thank yous before we let you get out of here tonight.
Just me and Marvin and for putting this on, and you for broadcasting, and I'm going to go back and watch it later.
All right.
And Mac Tools, that's about it.
All right, man. Well, an awesome run tonight. Thanks for chatting with us. Look forward to seeing you back next week.
Yes, sir.
All right, Pete Dillon finishing in the third spot tonight. Now let's move on and talk to Team of 5 driver in the 29 car. Trevor Harmon, man, you fought hard all night long. You're the hard charger this evening.
Oh, man, I am doing good. How are you?
I'm great, man. And you kind of were, Johnny Nowhere for a long time, and then right here at the end, poof, there's the 29 car. How'd you make that happen?
Honestly, I don't even know. We made it probably halfway through the race and ended up taking tires, which was a great call because I had destroyed my right front, and then we really didn't kind of get any momentum, even being back there in traffic, such dirty air. Everybody's fighting for the same kind of real estate. Everybody knows the fast lines. It makes it super hard. You just got to wait for somebody to make a mistake or get a really good run. And right there, we managed to miss all the wrecks that happened right in front of us, which was spectacular. And then coming down to that last restart, I was just starting on the outside, just hold it to the floor and hope she sticks. And I got a little love tap coming out of 2 on that final lap, but I managed to stay on it and hope that I could beat him into the corner and not overdrive it. And we managed to come home P2.
Well, pretty slick track out there tonight. Everybody was fighting for little pieces of real estate. We've heard that a couple of times now, and a couple of weird cautions. Did you find any places where it was really tough to run versus kind of that middle bottom?
Yeah, I'll give it just a second here. Yeah, so it was, I don't know, like you could run the bottom and be fast, but it seemed like later in the race it was way faster to run like middle to top. So I don't know, it just depended on where your car liked it the most. You know, I did 3 or 4 restarts on the bottom, and I just felt like I couldn't get my momentum. So high side restarts were definitely where it was at.
Well, an awesome run, man. Give us some shout outs, some thank yous before we let you get out of here tonight.
Yeah, I got to thank my teammates, Brad and Jason, for getting me involved in this league. It's been super fun getting back involved in these cars. It's been a hot minute since we've raced these things, so I got to give a huge thank you to them. Team 5 Motorsports, Sim Picks by Rowdy, you up in the booth. You put on a great show, and thanks to Marvin and everybody here at putting on a great league. Getting it cleaned up, but hopefully we'll get better.
All right, man. Thanks for chatting with us. Congrats on a great run. We'll look forward to seeing you back next Tuesday.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Trevor Harmon running in the second place tonight. Made a good run out of, I think, 10 positions improved. And now we got to talk to the guy that pretty much dominated this thing. I don't know what he's doing to the tires, but he's keeping them on the car all night long. He drives with one arm, I think with one eye, and I know he's blind in his left ear. Reed Rundle, how you doing, buddy?
I'm sorry, I got to put my right ear on here. Hold on a second.
So you can see what you're saying?
Hey, you know, we're driving with both arms now, so we can pull that factor out of it.
Well, that's no fun.
Yeah, I was a little worried there towards the end. Those couple guys that got up there, and Garrett and whatever, I think might have had a little bit better tires if they had pitted at some point or got a new car at some point. But no, it was good. We backed off, I think, a quarter of the way in, and I let a couple guys by so that I didn't wear them out because we were starting to stretch it out. I didn't want to see that.
Yeah, the restarts, and I said it during the break. I was like, man, he's going to have to keep reaching into the bag of trick. Eventually, the bag is going to get empty, and that last restart, he didn't waste any time. The pace car got out of the way, and you got on it and got away from those guys. I know that was by design. But yeah, but I was going to say, what are you digging into the old man bucket at that point, or what's the deal?
Yeah, you know, and Trevor and I were talking. It's like if you watch the 2 restarts before that, Garrett was inside of me and he was trying to time it and he was doing pretty good, but you know, it just was getting enough of a run, and I'm like, I ain't giving him that same chance with only a couple laps left. So yeah, we had to shake up where we were going to start to hopefully get it out there, which we did. So that's the main thing.
You know, a lot of the guys and a lot of the faster guys pitted there just before halfway. And I know you knew that. I know you had to have been paying attention to that from the relative there. But, you know, as the lap started to wear on, it looked like you got a little bit faster. You were able to go out front and race the car, keep it up front, and still save the tires, man. There's got to be a trick to that.
Well, and, you know, I mean, I did see some of them go in, but I also saw that a bunch stayed out, which means that put a bunch of cars between us. So, you know, I knew they were going to have to push hard to get back up, at least for what I could see. And like I said, that's kind of what I was a little bit worried at the end. But, you know, whether you notice it or not, I mean, we were running it high in 1 and 2 to try and save a little bit of that because high in 3 and 4 because of the way, you know, the front straight is, and then trying to make sure that we entered high and then exited low coming off 2 to get that straight run off. And you know what, I mean, that's just seat time and trying to do what you can. I haven't looked and see where my tires are at. I'll have to see what the crew says and stuff, but it'll be interesting to see.
Well, an awesome run, man. Another win for you. Got to feel good because the beginning of the season was a little bit of a struggle.
Yeah, it does. I mean, again, there's a lot of good guys in this, both of our series, the Mars series and here. And so anytime you can come out with a podium or that, you know, kind of good finish, it's always a good feeling. And a little bit better, cleaner race tonight. I know we had a couple of good battles, and that's always fun too. So,
well, I know you know the drill, so I'm going to let you have it, free pizza and all.
Yep. Still wondering about free pizza. Little Caesars is on the car. You know, obviously, I'd like to thank Marv and Jeff and Andrew for putting on the Short Track Showdown series and doing their thing with this. Obviously, thanks to Beard Sconce and Beard Oils and Oh, who else? We got, well, BAM. We got Bravo Trailers and 5 Star Bodies. Shout out to my dad down in Florida. And thanks to my wife upstairs for letting me have a little fun a couple times a week.
All right, man. Well, thanks for chatting with us. Congrats on a great run, and we'll look forward to seeing you next Tuesday,
you too,
right?
Roger. You guys always. Yep. No, we're. Don't think we're running next Tuesday. I think it's going to be a couple weeks off because of the holiday, but maybe. I don't know.
I got to look at the Tuesday schedule, but I know we're off on Sunday, so.
Yeah, for sure. But thank you for all you do too, Roger. You always put on a good show, and good talking to you.
All right, Reed Arundel picking up the win here tonight in Iowa in the Short Track Showdown Series, and he'll drive that thing away, take it back around, and hurry up and get them tires off before Tech can get to him. I just kid with that guy. He's a lot of fun. Reed and I have known each other for way too long. All right, Rundle wins at Harmon second, Dillon third. Garrett with a good run comes home in the 4th spot. Vinny 5th. He made a nice recovery. Got spun kind of late, right after the halfway point, and he recovers to a 5th place finish. Hurlburt through with the LCQ and into a 6th place finish tonight. DeMoore 7th, Lawson 8th, Powell 9th, Werdeman 10th, Brunner 11th, Yates 12th, 13th to Turnmeyer, Perry in 14th, Westendorf 15th, 16th was Blake Stallings, and Caleb Sanford rounded out the field. So another week on Tuesdays, Short Track Showdown Series, good one, in the daylight down here in Iowa. And we'll get ready for the next event. I don't know if they're off next Tuesday night, guys. I'll let everybody know. I'll put a post up, let everybody know. If not, and we don't see you before Christmas, Merry Christmas to everybody. Stay safe. Keep your family close. Remember the reason for the season. Keep that in your hearts and in your minds. And if we don't get back and see anybody before New Year's, hey, be safe. Come back to us. Make sure that you do not drink and drive. Call for a cab. Call for an Uber. Get a friend, designated driver, something. Make it home on New Year's Eve so you can come back after the first of the year. Come in here and harass and let everybody know you're back. Until we see you guys the next time, thank you for being here. Without you guys, there's no reason for us to cover this. Without all the great leagues giving us fantastic racing, there's nothing for us to cover. Both sides of that coin get a big thank you from Digital Sim Sports Network and the Dirt Racing Network. Love everyone.